Hi, I'm Dan Mummert. I'm the wildlife diversity biologist for the Southeast region with the Pennsylvania Game Commission. And today we're going to be talking about how you, as a landowner or homeowner in Pennsylvania, can improve your property for wildlife with the use of brush piles. So with us today, we have the Game Commission Southeast Region Habitat Management Group 1 crew showing us how to build and create a brush pile specifically to benefit wildlife. Creating a brush pile can be thought of as in 4 different stages. First of all, and probably most important, is safety. With making a brush pile, you want to make sure that you have the proper personal protective equipment, or PPE. This includes eye protection, head protection through a helmet, ear protection, because we're using a loud chainsaw, and chaps, protecting yourself from the blade of the chainsaw. Also make sure you have proper instruction on how to safely use and operate a chainsaw. The second stage in building your brush pile is doing the actual cutting for the pieces that we're using for your brush pile. You want to look on your property for areas that have either too dense of a stand of trees that you could thin out and use some of those trees for your brush pile. So when we're starting out our brush pile, we want to think about how we can create great cover habitat for a lot of different species of wildlife. Everything from grouse to turkey to songbirds. So we want to create spaces for cover habitat. To do this, when we start off, we want to have about 6-foot long limbs that are about 6 inches in diameter to start with. These are going to be placed on the bottom in a grid pattern about 1 foot apart from each other, lined up like you see here. On top of this first layer, then we're going to have slightly smaller branches lined up perpendicular to them to form that grid pattern. And that's going to create our space for cover habitat for wildlife. On top of your foundation, we go to the 4th stage of your brush pile, and this is the brushy top to your brush pile. This is a layer that will be small branches and densely woven into each other, and this creates the cover habitat from the weather to protect your wildlife from everything from predators to thermal cover protection in the winter months of the year, and also protection from rain, snow, and other weather. And here we have our finished brush pile. You can see here we have the framework with our largest limbs on the bottom, covered by our smaller limbs, and here we're using evergreen branches that provide even better protective cover from anything from predators to the weather, the cold weather here in the wintertime. This is going to benefit all kinds of wildlife on your property. Everything from rabbits to songbirds, turkey, quail, all sorts of wildlife that you would have in your woods. You can separate these brush piles by about 100 yards apart from each other. And this will create excellent cover habitat throughout your property, throughout your woodlands, for your wildlife. Now, creating brush piles like this is a simple, easy way for anyone, no matter if you have a small property or a large property, to do something beneficial for wildlife, to create better cover habitat for them. And this is something that you can either do on your own or get a group of people. Come together. If you have cabin fever, winter's a great time of year to create a brush pile all together, get out into the woods, and do a project like this to benefit the wildlife in your area.